6 months after the death of Mahsa Amini, Iranians continue to protest the regime. Iranian exiles living abroad have joined the movement in any way that they can, and for the French-Iranian opera singer and composer Ariana Vafadari, that's meant rallying support through music. Now, she left Iran at age 5 and was later marked by the tragic murder of her father, a leader of the Zoroastrian community. Much of her music incorporates that spirituality, and she joins us on set to tell us more about it and also give us her thoughts on the protests. Ariana Vafadari, thank you so much for being here.
Hello.
Maybe let's just start with this protest movement. What has it meant for you to see these protests sort of erupt and then take hold?
It's very moving for us living abroad to see how courageous these young people are, and they are ready to give their lives for these protests, to change the country. And we feel very secure here abroad, and I wish I could be with them and have the courage they have.
You have a lot of courage yourself, though. You've been supporting these protests through your art. You've been performing notably with the dancer Rana Gorgani. There's a wonderful video of the two of you performing on the esplanade of the City Hall here in Paris. Can you tell us more about these performances?
Yes, we are forbidden in Iran, so I can't sing in Iran. Woman voice is forbidden in Iran. Even, of course, showing your hair. And Rana Gorgani dancing is totally forbidden in Iran. So we've been always doing forbidden things. But today we show it as something to free the country. And I hope it gives courage to Iranian women to show who they are and be able to be free.
Yeah, and the dance that she's doing there is a whirling dervish dance. I believe it's usually reserved for men in Iran.
Women can dance, but they have to stay hidden. So women can sing, but they can't show their voice to men. So this is all about Iran. You can do things, but you have to stay hidden.
And I believe that the first music that you composed yourself was after your father died. You said that he died a tragic death, and you finally just now started to be very open about what happened to him. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, I would say that I composed because of my father's death, not speaking about it. But yeah, he was murdered in Paris, and he was a leader of the Zoroastrian community. So these communities they love each other in Iran, but they have to stay hidden at the same time, not talk about not be too strong. So my father was murdered in Paris, and then I started composing on the very old Zoroastrian mantras and to talk about what our thoughts are in this community, what is this philosophy about. Women and men are equal, freedom of choice, freedom of speech, and this is very important in my community.
And it seems very at odds with the Iranian regime. What's that relationship like? What's the place of Zoroastrian belief in current Iran?
Well, like other communities, if you don't talk too much, if you stay hidden, then it's fine. But we need to show who we are and what we express and our feelings and emotions. And this is all about Iran. If you walk in the street and you laugh too much and you put your hair out and you express something of your own, then people are afraid, or my cousin will say, don't laugh too loud. We're in the street, hide yourself. And so this is all about this regime, is that we need, and all these women are out shouting in the street now because they say we need to show who we are and what we express and our identity. And these communities are very important for this.
And was your father's killer ever brought to justice?
Yeah, he was in France, yeah.
Your second album is called Anahita, after the Zoroastrian goddess of femininity and water. Now, you released it in 2020, so long before these protests, but has it taken on new resonance given what's happening?
Yes, because, I wanted to talk about the fact that that's another subject in Iran, which is important in the area, is that there is a big lack of water. And for me, the link with femininity is very important, is that men have been taking power. And water is a problem in this area. So they put water, they distort, you say, rivers and they, in other regions, when they need water, other places, and then there are regions that have no water anymore. So I wanted to talk about this. And my new project for women is talking about, well, is coming out soon, and is talking about the relationship of these women everywhere in the world that suffered during the COVID, that were all the situation that went really bad for women during these 2 years. Women are now married younger in Iran or in the area. Many that were in universities, families said, now that's enough, you have to stay home and get married. So this is talking about this.
So that your new album is going to be sort of inspired by the coronavirus pandemic. Is it also informed by the protests that have been going on?
Yes, and Atik Rahimi, the writer, wrote the text and was very saw something that would happen, because the text, and that's the song I've been singing in this video, is talking about my hair are free and I need to well, in English that would be difficult, but in French and Iranian anyway, talking about this woman being free. And so it's really the myth of Medea that says, no, I don't want to be used by men. I'm going to go to my destiny and take off my chains and express who I am and see the truth within myself. So this is part of the new project coming now. Yeah.
I'm very excited to see it. Now, these protests started 6 months ago, and they've sort of shifted since the deadly crackdown. Some people say that maybe they're dying down, or people are less, we're seeing less of the mass protests than we did before. What's your sense of where things are at right now?
Yes, people are going less in the streets because they have been arrested a lot, and violence was so strong that I think the government said, okay, now we did enough. People understand, and families are afraid. They forbid their kids and people to go in the streets. So I think they just playing on this, but in March now, it's the new year in Iran, and they're voting for very strong politics, for more policy, more security, more guards and army. So they're going to get really strong on this to keep the population, and they're aiming the journalists more. So they're changing a bit, they're shifting the way they're going to hold this country.
And we are running out of time, but I just want to quickly ask you, because you do other types of music as well. You performed electronic music at festivals like Burning Man. I recommend people check it out. What do you enjoy about other genres? Does electronic music sort of give you something that opera doesn't?
Yeah, well, I like to take opera in other places than opera houses, and electronic music is something really great. And if you know Burning Man Festival or Exit Festival, and Satori, DJ Satori or DJ Chambord, well, for me, you know, expressing and having these moments with thousands of people dancing, it's really something unique.
All right, Ariana Vafadari, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your music and sharing your thoughts on what's happening in Iran. Again, that's French-Iranian opera singer and composer Ariana Vafadari.